Bruno Fernandes saying yes to the Al Hilal project. This is the news that has just come from reportedly Ben Jacobs. This is what we are seeing today. It is basically reported that the Bruno Fernandes agent was seen in Saudi Arabia and talking to the agents of Al Hilal. And of course, this was the situation where they gave him the project and they also gave the proposal on how much they want to pay Bruno Fernandes and how much Manchester United they would want to bid for Bruno Fernandes in that situation. Now, situation. Now, what does this mean? It does not mean that Bruno Fernandes is leaving Manchester United. What we have basically seen is that the agreement, just in case Manchester United wants to cash in on Bruno, the agreement of that contract has basically been said yes to, or the project in a sense. This is mind-blowing in my opinion. Thinking about Bruno not in Manchester United, it's quite tough, and Ben Jacobs is not a small boy when it comes to reporting. He is quite impressive and is quite knowledgeable about what he actually says. So when he comes out during the YouTube interview that he had, you have to pay attention to this situation. He basically said Bruno is seriously considering the Saudi move, and with his agent in Saudi talking with Al Hilal, and the rumors coming out that he's actually saying that yes, he would be open to that move. The exit might be closer than we think. The exit for Bruno might be closer than we think. So this is something that we definitely have to pay attention to. Now, going into more of the transfer news, we are going to be looking, after talking more in depth about Bruno, we are going to be looking about Jeremy Frimpong has completed his move to Liverpool. Not just Jeremy Frimpong completed his move to Liverpool, we're going to be looking at Florian Wirtz and the updates of that situation. And then we can then touch into Liam Delap and how that would move. So, Bruno Fernandes, if he leaves to go to Al Hilal, what does this mean for Manchester United? Manchester United would be losing their talisman, because we will be losing our talisman, and not just that, but losing so many goals. So, the good thing about that situation, if it happens, because a lot of people have had the conversations about, where does Bruno actually play? What position is actually Bruno's favorite position? Or what position does he fit to the T in this Ruben Amorim system? And to be frank with you, the only position that I see that Bruno fits perfectly, or not perfectly, but has an ability to play quite well, is that position of leading from the two center midfield position, where he can actually dictate the play and actually make things work out in his favor and just dictate the tempo of the team. However, the 2 10s that we play is not usually the number 10s that Manchester United play of old, or Ten Hag played when he was here at Manchester United. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more carrying the ball. It's a little bit more dribbling past players. Is a little bit more using your pace and your strength to actually beat the press, or beat the defensive setup. And Bruno, that is not his greatest strength. His greatest strength is creativity. His greatest strength is his ability to run back and forth. All those things, create, score, assist. Those are his greatest strengths. But when it comes to carrying the ball, it's a little bit difficult. Now, Ruben Amorim has basically spoken that Bruno does not want to leave Manchester United. And I'm sure Ruben doesn't want Bruno to leave either. However, what we are seeing in this situation is that Bruno has already said it. If Manchester United wants to cash in on him being a really good player, a world-class player, and getting about 100 million to 100 million plus, then he would basically accept it. So that is where the caveat is. And I think in this situation, we are actually playing with fire, because if we sell Bruno Fernandes and the money comes in, 100 million is not as big as people think these days. Florian Wirtz is probably going to be going for around 130 million. And this situation, Leverkusen has already turned down Liverpool in terms of what they bid, in terms of their first official bid. So 100 million is not as big as people think. Okay, let's say we're Brian Mbeumo for 50 million. The remaining money is 50 million. And that's maybe one other top player, and that's about it. And it's quite difficult to choose which is decision to make, because the best decision would have been Manchester United has the 100 million from qualification for the Champions League and do not need to sell Bruno. You understand? And then we can add upon having Bruno in Manchester United. And those are the things that would have been the best. But now we are caught between a rock and a hard place. And that situation is where the tough decisions comes. And that is where the likes of Omar Ben Rada, Jason Wilcox will absolutely end their money, end their pay, end their salary in this decision. Now let's go to an update about what Ben Jacobs said about Liam Delap. It's basically said here, and I think this was about 2 days ago if I'm not mistaken. It says Chelsea are closing in on a move for Liam Delap after positive talks. Let me tell you this. The deal has already been done. Liam Delap has basically been announced, I believe, by Fabrizio Romano by saying, here we go. So I think this deal is pretty clear. The deal is pretty done. And it's United have lost the race to Liam Delap. Quite unfortunately, because you think about Manchester United being a lot bigger than Chelsea. But because of the position that we have put ourselves in, Manchester United, we are losing the striker that we should be getting as a backup. You understand? We should be getting Liam Delap as a backup striker, not even the number one striker for Manchester United. Chelsea has Nicholas Jackson, and Liam Delap is going to be joining them. Not just that, they have Maguire. You get me? So this is a team filled with options. Why Manchester United are struggling to score more than 44 goals in a Premier League season. So that is troubling for us. However, he has chosen to go to Chelsea, so hopefully it's a success in that situation. Let him go and have a really good time. Now, for Liverpool have just confirmed Jeremy Frimpong has joined from Bayer Leverkusen on a 5-year contract, £35 million fee, which Liverpool view as an excellent value. Liverpool tried for Frimpong a year ago and returned this summer, triggering his release clause. I'm going to say this one more time. I've made a video about this situation already. Jeremy Frimpong, in the entirety of Arne Slot's system, is a better suited Alexander-Arnold. Of course, we know Trent has been announced by Real Madrid already. But Jeremy Frimpong is so amazing of a player. This is somebody that almost joined Liverpool while he was in an academy, when he was much younger, but then joined Manchester City. It's basically, this moment has just become a full circle moment where he has joined Liverpool yet again, and it looks good on him. The red, he continues to wear red, looks good. Of course, the signature dreads on both sides of his face definitely looks good on the lad. So I think for sure. And then we look at a situation of Florian Wirtz about also. It's basically reported by Ben Jacobs have improved a second offer of 130 million euros to Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz, as Dave Ornstein called. Let me repeat that. Liverpool has improved their second bid for Florian Wirtz for 130 million euros to Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz. The bid includes add-ons. Wirtz is keen on the move, and Liverpool are now optimistic of completing the deal. I think this is what is going to get the deal over the line, because in based of what I actually knew, Leverkusen wanted around 130 million euros. That's what they wanted for Florian Wirtz. And I feel like with the add-ons, now that it has gotten to that valuation, it will be quite easy for it to be done, because they do not want to sell to the German Bundesliga, and they definitely want to give Florian Wirtz the move that he absolutely wants, based on him bringing a trophy to Leverkusen. So I think this deal is going to be happening within the few weeks. It might be done before we even this goes up, who knows? But it's something that the entirety of the Premier League are going to be begging for mercy when Florian Wirtz steps on that field with Liverpool and Mo Salah. It is truly going to be a ridiculous one. But the clarity of this situation for Bruno Fernandes is that Al Hilal held productive talks with Bruno Fernandes' agent as revealed yesterday. Fernandes is Al Hilal's top target, and President Fahad bin Nafil has pitched directly to the Manchester United captain. Al Hilal has made it clear to Fernandes that must join before the Club World Cup in the first 10th of June window. Understand, the offer to Fernandes will be withdrawn in 7 days. Oh my word. Al Hilal are prepared to make a first offer of 100 million euros to Manchester United, while Fernandes will can earn over 700 pounds per week plus bonuses if he agrees to join the move. Al Hilal already have budget signed off, as the funds allocated to try and sign Mo Salah have been retained by the club. This is madness. This is madness. Of course, Al Hilal, I think it's even the Saudi Pro League tried to go for Mohamed Salah, but Mo Salah definitely re-signed with Liverpool, staying there and having been the most highest paid Liverpool player. He's going to be there. So they use that same funds to come in and tempt Bruno Fernandes to leave Manchester United. This is mind-blowing. It's crazy. It's crazy time. It's crazy time. But we really is serious. Yeah, so that's definitely that on the transfer news. So you guys let me know what you think can improve in the content that we show you, pillars, and with your participation. And I know a lot of people, over about 75 people that watch the content, hasn't subscribed yet. One thing I can tell you is the more you subscribe, the better the content gets, because it truly does wonders for us when this content is getting better and YouTube can actually understand that you actually want this type of content. So let me know what you guys think about these transfer windows down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.